That much about Muay Thai though.
Muay Thai is just kickboxing. Like, it's kickboxing with knees and elbows. Muay Thai is super cool.
Kickboxing seems like the underestimated martial art. Nobody ever talks about it, but kickboxers kick some serious ass.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I like Savate. Savate's kind of cool.
What's Savate?
It's just like...
Oh, is that the French one?
Yeah, it's like kickboxing but French, and they have like shoes they wear.
Yeah, I had a friend my friend Brandon was going on about that for a while. Because he's French. Yeah, he's like actually French.
If you ever want one of my favorite TV series to understand other martial arts, it's called Fight Quest.
Yeah.
I think I've talked about it before, shown you it.
But that does sound like a cool idea. You know what I don't understand at this point?
Yeah.
Why aren't martial arts more popular?
I think they're incredibly popular. But you mean, like, why aren't they like football? Is that what you mean?
Well, kind of.
Okay.
UFC is actually getting there.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, UFC is actually legit getting there. And that might be the only sport that I might actually pick up watching, is UFC. But UFC, even then, it's not on, like, ESPN or anything.
Yeah, but you get, like, a fight pass. It's kind of what you get. It's its own network.
Yeah. Either way, UFC is getting huge. I don't think it's going to get big in... I'm not sure about it getting big in China.
Well, they have Sanda in China. Like, it will get huge. Sanda is kind of like MMA, but with a more restrictive rule set.
Well, here's the thing about MMA in China, right? Is that Kung Fu and stuff like that, it's very much tied to, like, Chinese culture.
Yeah.
So, if they see, like, some Kung Fu guy get into a ring with somebody who does, like, BJJ in wrestling, and he just gets his face beat off of the mat,
Yeah.
that may not go so well.
Yeah, they might get a little mad in communist China.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. They might get a little mad in communist China. Now, Japan, they're like, okay, well, we got martial arts that work, so we're cool. Because, you know, a lot of them have judo under their belts.
Yeah.
And Kyokushin's kind of becoming really big now.
Yeah, it is. I think so.
It is.
Yeah, well, I mean, so is Taekwondo. Taekwondo's
not getting bigger, though.
No, but I mean the UFC. There's more utilization of Taekwondo.
Well, that's because
of all, like, the cool kicks and shit.
Well, that's because they're really using Taekwondo in a totally different way.
Yeah. I mean, that is very true. It's kind of like, imagine you have completely fully trained fighters, and then they're like, oh, I can take this one fancy kick and use it here. Yeah. They're not learning a repertoire of, like, they're not basing their fighting style around fancy kicks. They're learning, like, like a crescent kick or something cool, and they're just keeping that in their back pocket, like a little trick that, like, makes someone, you know, bounce them off their game. Like, they're like, oh, I'm safe, whap. You know what I mean?
I'm told that the warriors that the original Taekwondo is derived from were archers.
Yeah.
So Taekwondo might make a lot of sense if you have your hands occupied by a weapon that's useless in hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah, but I feel like you just want to run away if you have, like, a bow. Only a bow.
Yeah, but sometimes running away is not an option.
That's true. I mean, and it's better than, like, nothing.
Yeah, like, it's better than, like, nothing.
Although, I mean, people fighting you in that scenario would probably also have weapons. So that we remember, like, we've tried armed versus armed combat. It's not, it's very,
imagine them doing that with only your feet.
Yeah, like,
that would be terrible.
Yeah, that'd be really tricky, honestly.
Like, even if they just have a knife.
Yeah, we've tried this.
Yeah, good point. It's gonna end in you getting stabbed a lot.
Yeah, and over again.
Like, the only move that we figured out, I think, that works is to try to grab the wrist.
Yeah, if you.
But holy shit!
Yeah, if you get lucky,
that would be, like, incredibly dangerous.
Yeah, you have to go real quick, and
you have to be, like, fast as a fucking cat to do it.
Yeah.
Okay? You're like, fuck. That's all I can say when we were trying it earlier. Like, Jesus Christ, you gotta be fast. You gotta be lucky. Otherwise, you're getting a knife.
I really want to learn like actual techniques, and maybe there's like more to it if we can get better at it, so we're not just like two retards flying around with some sticks. Like,
yeah.
Maybe if we get that, and if once we get our like, once the face mask, like my face mask comes in, like then maybe we can actually like.
Well, I feel like for
change her up.
I feel like for knife, you actually want more padding than just. Well, maybe. I don't know.
Honestly, I'm okay, but like, I mean, I don't know. I don't have a lot of nerves, so.
Yeah, the thing is, Well, the thing is about knife fighting is you gotta be really quick, like the stuff we were doing. But I'd like to be able to go more full tilt with the grappling stuff.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the treatise,
yeah,
there's a shit ton of grappling in there.
Yeah, but you only need like mats for that, or like
Where
literally the
mats?
grass. Honestly, grass works fine too. That's perfectly good.
My yard's full of dog shit.
Yeah. We'll find grass. Like in the summer, it'll be easy. We can just go across to the park or something.
That's a good point.
Yeah, there's all kinds of places we can use.
Can't fucking drive.
What?
I said, buddy can't fucking drive.
Yeah.
But yeah, we could go across to the park and stuff.
Yeah, we'll find like dry.
I have a feeling that like doing your martial arts in a park is just great marketing.
Yeah, well, one of like my favorite forums, Bullshido, they do meetups. Like people they do throwdowns. Like if people
do meetups, yeah.
Yeah.
I've read Bullshido's ideas of meetups.
Yeah.
Yeah. Their idea of a meetup is
glove up. It's awesome.
Glove up. We're gonna go.
Yeah, they're like.
And then some Aikido guy gets his head slammed off the ground.
Yeah, pretty much.
I still think my favorite debunking martial arts video.
Yeah.
Is that one of the judo guy versus the Aikido guy, and the poor Aikido guy gets slammed off the mat so hard he bounces 2 inches off of it like 6 times.
They just keep throwing him on the ground.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
He, to his credit, got 1 throw off on the judo guy.
Oh wait, I think I've seen that. Yeah. And the judo guy is going real light too. If you've seen it, that's the reason why I got the throw off, is because he's being really nice.
Really nice, but then he's like, BAM! Off the ground.
Yeah, I know.
BAM!
But I mean, if you watch him, he's throwing them, but his movements are very,
well,
very
it looked
nice.
like the two of them are actually friends.
Yeah.
Because,
it's the same thing with the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu video. There's one of a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy and an Aikido guy, and it's like watching a playful leopard, sort of like bat around a little field mouse a little bit. Like it's, and he's just playing around. And the Aikido guy, he's like fucking fighting for his life, and the Brazilian is just kind of like, oh, blah, blah, like,
Yeah, that's what that one's like.
Pretty much.
Actually, no, that's my second.
Leopard.
That's my second favorite. My favorite
I sent you that one.
is the MMA fight with the Kai Master.
That's like most people's favorite one. The one where he's bleeding.
Shit, I'm bleeding.
Yeah, that one's amazing.
It's like, oh shit. And then the MMA guy's like, "We gonna fight? Gonna fight or what?" And for some reason, they just have this one really fat referee.
Yeah.
To the credit, the referee looks like he knows what he's doing, but he also looks like he really wants a bag of Cheetos.
That Kyokushin video I sent you the other day, that was really good too. Where it had it had all those different boats in it, and the one with the Wing Chun, and it had a bunch
I feel
of
like that was actually a really good Wing Chun.
Yeah, that was really interesting because the Wing Chun guys didn't look too bad. They kind of looked like they were bound by their style. Because with a lot of those shitty martial arts, what you see happen is it just ends up looking like sloppy boxing. If they end up actually sparring a bunch and figuring out how their technique's going to be applied in the sparring scenario, you end up looking at just sloppy boxing or sloppy Muay Thai. That's basically what it ends up looking like.
So then Aikido would just look like bad judo.
Yeah, people literally say that. You've just said what a whole bunch of people say on a forum when they go and they watch those sparring tournaments with Aikido, the couple that exist, and they're like, oh, it kind of looks like bad judo, basically.
Well, yeah, because as far as I've been told, there is one school of judo.
Okay.
That does emphasize sparring.
Well, there's a whole bunch of sparring in judo. I don't mean Aikido, not judo.
I meant Aikido, actually.
Yeah.
Sorry, not judo. Judo's tons of sparring.
It's that's all they do.
No wonder they can't walk by the time they're 45. That's my fear about doing judo is that, do I need to remember my name in my 50s?
I mean, you know, you throw enough dudes, maybe people will tell you your name for you.
Yeah. I'll just have to get it on my black belt.
Yeah, you'll get tattooed on your arm. People think you're like really ego, but really you just like you can't fucking remember. You'll always be looking at it, and people will be like, "Wow, this fucking guy's so ego, like so like you know
I feel like
self-centered."
that's like old boxers.
Yeah,
like old boxers. Now they're a little bit better on the head protection. I don't know how much, but I assume that they wear the head padding.
no, that's just in like amateur boxing. In professional boxing, they don't.
I mean, when they're sparring and shit.
What?
I mean, when they're like sparring and shit.
No, we didn't wear it in Muay Thai. We don't wear it. We just wear gloves.
I feel like the helmet thing might be a good idea.
There's a lot of science and data that like has come out, and basically, honestly, your brain is built to like it's really built to like be dealt like fists, like raw, like the punching power a person can drive into you with their fists is what your brain can sort of take, and so you won't get injuries from that. What it can't take is a whole bunch of extra like subconcussive blows with padding and stuff, because this is like your fist is like really pointy and directs the force into a very specific area, right? Whereas a big blow jars the entire brain, and then there's like tissue around, protective tissue, and that erodes after time of all those soft blows that are padded. It gets rid of that, and then it just starts rocking your brain, and then you go crazy because it fills it with carbon.
And then next thing you know, you're biting dudes' ears off.
Yeah, pretty much.
Although Mike Tyson in martial arts is still not to be fucked with.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure when Mike Tyson was in prison, no one looked at him like, oh yeah, bet you I could beat that dude up.
He might punch you through the wall. I bet you the dude's like 60 and he can probably still punch you through a wall.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like...
Yeah, it's just, like, the striking is just on another level, so it wouldn't matter, like, it's just skill. It's not even, like, I mean, there's a ferocity to it.
Yeah, he is pretty... If you watch his old videos, he's pretty fucking aggressive.
Yeah, well, that's kind of like what he was known for, was his ferocity. Was that like left hook or right hook? I can't remember which one.
And it's not like Yolander Holyfield was some fucking pushover.
Yeah,
he's actually a good fighter.
Well, I'm pretty sure he is. Like, I think he was really way up there.
What?
Like he was way up there.
Yeah. Like, actually, I'm pretty sure he won that fight.
I can't remember. I don't know enough about boxing to know.
Boxing's one of the more interesting ones to watch.
Yeah.
I feel like it would be great to watch if you really knew, if you boxed before, and you really knew what you were looking at.
Yeah, I love watching boxing. I mean, you learn all that stuff in Muay Thai, like all the punches and combos and stuff. So
I feel like UFC,
yeah,
once you actually know martial arts, kind of becomes like watching art in motion.
Yeah, it is. It really is. When you're watching the striking and the setups and just people, oh man.
Do you know where I have that?
Like, there's a really, like, Justin Wren's last match was so nice. He just got, like, the most beautiful, like, belly to back suplex or suplex. Oh man.
Did they do suplexes in BJJ?
They don't do much standing, honestly, but I do lots. Like, I do half suplexes constantly. So like one of the things in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, because there's like a lack of rule set, like there's a lot of technique to stand up, and so like, yeah, they do suplexes, but I don't know if you'd ever get one unless you really practiced one. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like they're there. Like, all you can do any standing takedown you want, but like, because it's so open a rule set, the dangers of doing a full-on suplex are actually way higher, because they can just reach down and then leg lock you. But like,
so because they try to come at you from behind, you'd get leg locked.
No, like, so let's say like you've arm dragged them, and then you have back control, like, you know, when I have your back. So a suplex, in order to get one to happen, you want to lock, or at least I'm going to describe a half suplex because that's what I prefer. You're going to put your knees behind their knees, and you're going to lower your center of gravity, and you're going to you're going to, like, oh man, I can't describe this. You're going to grab both your arms, and it's going to come onto one side of the body, and it's going to grasp tightly. You're going to grasp that, and then you're going to explode out with your hips, and then with your knees to block them, and you come back at an angle, and you go whoop, and you corkscrew down. But
sounds like
in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, yeah, it's really effective. But the thing is, if they step to the side and then your leg is in the center, they can just reach down, grab your leg, and roll back, and then they can leg lock you from there.
And you can end up really fucked.
Yeah, well, you'll get submitted.
So, when you're about to get submitted, you tap on them, or can you just tap on the mat?
You want to tap on them. Aikido, it all taps on the mat, which is dumb. Don't do that. Tap on the person, because that's way more like, okay, like, they'll know, like, it's kind of like you're trying to just do whatever is most noticeable. So, like, if both your hands are like caught and you can't move your arms, then you just tap with your foot.
They're like tapping like this.
Yep.
Like they tap on themselves.
Oh, that's probably because they don't have the reach to tap on the other person. Or they should if they're not doing that. Like, it's probably just bad form. Like, you really want to try and tap the other person.
Well, this one guy had like full back control.
Okay.
And yeah, it was.
Yeah, if he can't reach a part of his body, then he'll just tap himself. But let's say both your hands are tied, then you can just verbally say tap. Like, you can just go tap and just say it.
Or you can tap with your foot. Okay.
Yeah.
No. Although,
like, whatever gets their attention, so they go, okay, I've won, and they let go. So
I'm actually a little scared for tomorrow.
Okay. I wouldn't be. You're good. Like, you're...
Like, I have a feeling he's not going to, like, try to, like, kill me.
No, well, no one will try and kill you. They're just going to go, and then when you get, caught, you just tap, and then they let go. You always...
But I feel like BJJ is also going to be, like, a lot of work.
Yeah, it's fun.
To get good.
Oh, yeah. To get good at Brazilian, like... Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, this is like a sport, like a martial art. People devote their, like, you know...
It's not going to be like, I'm almost at the yellow belt already.
No, nothing like that.
Like, I'm expecting 3 years to make blue.
Yeah, or like that. But, like, that's a good estimate. But it could be less than that. Like, it all depends. And also it depends on, like, what your goals are. Like, for instance, like, my goal is I really like to compete. And so then, for me to get my belts is a lot trickier because I'm not just I'm not doing it, like, for the same reasons. You know what I mean? Like, they're, like I'm a white belt, and, like, but I'll tap purple belts. Because, like, just the reason for training is way different.
Okay.
So the standard of quality is different. Now, again, that comes back to, like, the only reason why I can really get that is because as much as I don't have skill in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, because I have all the skill that I have in wrestling, like, because I've wrestled so much, I know how to train, and I know how to drill. You know what I mean? And and my ability to sense people's weight and center of gravity and the balance and everything is a lot higher than a white belt is.
I have 3 goals.
Yep.
Okay. Improve my physical condition.
Okay.
So, like, balance, physique, that stuff.
Yep.
Become reasonably confident in my ability to defend myself if the need ever arises.
Yep.
Not that I ever tend to, like, you know.
Next thing you know, I'll be working for security in, like, the Middle East.
I don't plan on, like, going that far, but, you know, I'd like to be, like, confident in my ability to defend myself. And
as every person should be.
And it's just, I want to do something that's going to be fun.
Oh, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is a buttload of fun, so there's at least that going for it. And it will definitely make you more healthy. And it's definitely good for self-defense.
The D part might be, I actually want to understand what I'm really interested in debunking the bullshit martial arts.
That's a really good one for that.
Because so I want to be confident enough in my abilities that I can go up to these bullshitters and be like, you're full of fucking shit.
Yeah, not feel like you get your ass handed to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is probably a really good one for that. And now the only thing is, if you do that, you'd also need to learn a bit of a striking art. Not even so you can strike, but just so you have the ability to understand spacing and how to slip punches and things like that, and how to catch a kick.
I feel like boxing would be really fun for that.
Yeah, just how to close distance, basically.
Then again, boxing, Muay Thai might be really good too.
Yeah, Muay Thai is
learning how to have leg bats. That's why I call it the leg bat martial art.
Yeah. Yeah, but boxing is really good too. Honestly, wrestling is really good for that. Like, just for closing distance.
Yeah, but there's no, like, wrestling clubs around here.
No, there isn't.
You should start one, but...
Oh boy, that would be so amazing. If I ever owned my own jiu-jitsu gym, I'd also teach wrestling. Like, I'd have days where it'd be like, yep, this is wrestling class, and I'd wrestling and Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
You know what my full goal set is?
What?
Got my life map planned out right now. I'm going to keep working at Shurion until I can get my eye surgery. Then I'm going to join the Navy for 4 years. Mm-hmm. Then I'm going to take my money from joining the Navy for 4 years, use that to get my, traveling in. Because I want to travel to, like, a bunch of places. And I feel like the Navy would be good for that, too.
And Brazilian jiu-jitsu is good for all of that.
Oh yeah, BJJ is great in the military.
No, but it's good for, one of the great things about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is it's like being a part of a club. Like being like part of a secret club. Because, for instance, like, I can go into any dojo anywhere that's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and basically instantly have people that have my back. You know what I mean? Like, instantly have a social circle of people I can talk to and hang out with and shoot the shit with. Right? So it doesn't matter where in the world I am. I pretty much always have a bit of some people I can meet.
BJJ is I think that's part of it because it's very big on lineage.
Yeah.
Right? It's very big on being able to trace, okay, your master came from this school, and he trained here.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. Big on that. So I think that's where a lot of that comes from.
Yeah, I think it's also the mentality of, like, it's like a group or like a club, you know what I mean? And he's one of us, you know what I mean?
Well, that too, but like I said, I was watching the Rick Alvarez video where he fucking flipped out, threw the guy out. How he found, he actually explains in another interview.
Okay.
Exactly how he found out the guy was a fake.
Yeah.
He had his suspicions.
Okay.
Right? But he was kind of making excuses in his own head.
Yeah.
Like, he kind of didn't want to believe it at first.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh man, I don't want to believe this. It's like the idea of having a black belt that apparently trained under the guy that the bullshitter trained under.
Yeah.
Would be like really. I don't remember who he said it was. I think it was like one of the Gracies or something.
I have no idea.
You'd have to. I'll send you the interview when I get home. You'd love it. Mm-hmm. Anyway, he was saying like he had one of the guys in his gym contact his old instructor in like Brazil.
Yep.
And like ask about this guy. Mm-hmm. And that's part of how he found out he was a fake. The other way he found out he was a fake is because his blue belt came to him and said, listen, this guy fucked up my tattoo. Like, the guy had lied about being a tattoo artist.
Okay.
And that's when he was kind of putting it together at that point, but he didn't want to, like, call the guy out and then turn out to be wrong.
Yeah.
So then he waited and he asked the guy to demonstrate shrimping. Mm-hmm. That was the calming moment.
Yeah, shrimp is a pretty basic technique.
And when the guy couldn't shrimp, he fucking lost it.
Yeah.
Which, actually, for a guy that lost it, he was actually pretty nice to him and had a lot of self-control.
Yeah, I've seen that.
He started cursing and swearing his head off.
Yeah, he didn't do anything, though, which was pretty nice. Because there are people that would just close the doors and just beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
That's what he said. He's like, yeah, it's nice of the guy. He even allowed him to come back.
Yeah, I remember that at the end of the video. He's like, you come back as a white belt in this gym.
You're going to train in my gym. You're going to be legit.
Yeah.
So I kind of have respect for that guy.
Yeah.
After seeing that. But yeah, no, I was watching the 20-minute interview with him after that with some Asian guy that does like a bunch of martial arts interviews.
Okay.
Including BJJ. Apparently the guy did do some BJJ.
Yep.
To the point where, like, even the guy that was interviewing him was like, wow, he's a black belt and you couldn't shrimp.
Yeah, shrimping is a really basic skill, and you use it for so much of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Probably one of the first things I'm going to learn tomorrow.
Yeah, it will probably be the very first thing you learn. We do at the beginning of every class. We do, like, four rows of shrimps, a couple other things.
So it's like where you're, like, get on your side and, like, kind of, like, spin?
No, the idea is to make space. It makes more sense once you've been in the guard during rolling and like a couple other like half guard. Once you've been in those positions, you can kind of put it in context, and then you're like, oh, I understand. It's for framing, and it's for making space with your hips, which allow you to make space with your legs, which then allow you to recover your guard or technical stand up.
So it's basically a defensive thing.
Yeah, it's all kinds of things. I mean, you can use it to create a leg lasso, like all kinds of stuff that aren't.
Man, I'm just nervous that I'm gonna give a fuck. I have a feeling that once I go tomorrow, next time, it's gonna be like way less nerving.
Yeah, you will be. It'll be way less nerve. And also, like, please understand, like, no one's gonna hurt you, and you probably won't do that bad. Like, you're good. Like,
I probably won't do worse than everyone else.
Yeah, you'll do just the same. And Wilson will hopefully be there. Like, you know, it's cool. And I'll be there. Oh yeah, and we always do like.
I'll probably end up. Well, if I don't end up sparring with the instructor Mitch, I'll probably end up with you. Or rolling with Mitch, I'll probably end up rolling with you.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people there. There's normally about 8 to 9 of us.
It's a pretty good crowd.
Yeah. It ranges though, like between basically 20 to 8 to 9.
Is that considered small for a BJJ gym?
I don't know because I'm only trained at the one, so I have no like gauge.
Because that doesn't sound small for a martial arts gym. 20 people sounds pretty good size.
Yeah, it sounds like that's the kind of size I like personally.
Oh my god, the Gumdo gym's only about 10, 15. I haven't actually sat down and counted. But it's very rare to see everyone there at once.
Yeah, no,
I've only seen Gabriel and his little brother there one Monday. The fucking 13-year-old with the red belt.
And you get a lot of people that sort of like come and go and are like more casual. Yeah, it's a big crowd of people, which is fun. And like, yeah, starting a new martial art is really nerve-wracking though. It was nervous to show up to Aikido.
Well, I have a feeling that
I was nervous about that.
The more
of all martial arts to be nervous for.
What? Aikido?
Yeah.
No, I would be especially nervous about Aikido.
Really?
Yeah, because I'd be afraid they're going to try to induct me into a cult.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Like, shit, am I joining a cult?
Yeah, no, like, I don't know, it's just like it's nervous for everybody, that's super normal.
Yeah, well, talk Wilson into joining, so.
Yeah.
I don't get why Peter doesn't like Wilson that much.
I don't know, I just think it's like, I don't know why he doesn't.
But Peter's got some, yeah.
What?
Peter's got some issues.
What do you mean?
He's got some issues.
What makes you say that?
No, he was just telling me some stuff on the ride home. He's not a bad guy.
Man, what was he telling you?
Like how he lost 110 pounds through pure anxiety.
Oh yeah, I knew that.
And like it was so bad he thought he was dying.
Yeah, no, me and him go way back. Don't worry, like I
have no doubts on that. I know you guys go a long ways back.
Yeah, we've been like joined at the hip and not on purpose for like too long.
But yeah, I don't get it. I don't see Wilson as a one-upper.
Yeah, he does it a little bit, but not that much.
Maybe he can be a little competitive.
Well, he's a little cocky because he flies planes, right? So.
Actually, I like his sense of humor.
Yeah, me too. I like Wilson personally. Like, I think he's a cool guy. But everyone's entitled to their own opinion. That's fair.
You know what I'm having a feeling about, though?
What?
I have a kind of weird feeling that if we get this HEMA thing going here in Moncton, it'll kind of take off.
Yeah, I think so too. If we get enough days in where we can actually like be like, oh, we can teach you a technique.
Like, I have a feeling that even if we started like doing it in a park, we'd have a lot of people coming by and like, oh, that looks cool.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just weird though, because like I see HEMA fencing. I think it looks awesome.
Yeah, well, I think you get a lot of people.
But that's because I can look at it and I can kind of see what they're doing. I've read enough of the manuals to kind of see what they're doing.
Yeah.
I wonder if anybody's ever read a decent BJJ manual.
Oh, there's all kinds of really good manuals for that stuff. Oh yeah.
Because one of the things I've always
there's so many resources for this. I can show you all the moves. People post tutorials online for everything. It's not like other martial arts where finding tutorials is hard. There's channels just dedicated to displaying moves. There's Kurt Ozianer's Move of the Week. There's Stephen Keston GrappleArts.com. There's all kinds of shit. I love it. I watch all of it.
That's pretty cool, but
yeah, that's one of the reasons why Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu has exploded so much is everyone, like, there's just so much content for it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, to immerse yourself into, to get lost into. It's its own world. You know what I mean?
It's kind of like that too.
Oh yeah, it's very
There's
similar to that.
shit tons of content here.
Yeah, that's kind of what I think. That's why HEMA's had such great success as well, is because of stuff like that. But I think that's why like stuff like Aikido hasn't done so well, is because they're secretive, culty. You know what I mean? So like finding techniques. Yeah, it's like you gotta find the secret ninja master up in the mountains of Shionage.
I still think the most successful martial arts of all time are like boxing and wrestling.
Yeah.
But that's because boxing is just pretty useful in any context.
Yeah, I think boxing's super useful.
It's an incredibly good to know stuff, no matter what the context is.
Yeah, it's the same thing with wrestling. It's and even if you're not even using the boxing, it's so much just the ability to understand like movement and footwork and like spacing and timing is just so huge.
And how not to throw a punch like a little fucking girl.
Yeah, okay, that too. But but honestly, that like the ability to like create space and maintain space and understand the spacing is just so important. And that's why I think it's one of the main failings of like a lot of martial arts. Like it's a big emphasis in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and wrestling and judo. And you notice that all the ones that are used a lot all have some kind of like, you know, and I'll put it this way, it can be very basic. In Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, like in boxing, timing and spacing and stuff like that can pretty much be its own incredibly complex battlefield between two boxers. In Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, it follows the red light, green light principle of if you're two fist lengths away, you're green light, like you're good. No one can hit each other. But if you're within striking distance but not grapple distance, that's red light, because you're not going to win that because you're a grappler, not a striker. So you're going to get punched. You're just going to get punched out. So you need to go from green light and go as quick as you can and minimize the damage between the red light back to grapple zone.
I feel that's like where wrestling and all the takedowns is super handy.
Yeah. It's super handy, but so
a lot harder against the
so spacing can be incredibly simplistic and it's still effective, because that is a simple ass way to describe spacing.
Yes. You know where else spacing's important?
What?
As we figured out today.
Oh yeah, dagger fighting.
It's fucking spacing's everywhere.
Well, it's pretty much the whole thing, because if you're too close, you just stab.
You just like murder the fucking shit out of one another.
Yeah.
But if you're too far, you're like, shit.
Yeah,
well,
so
I can't hit him.
We were both in green light there, and then red light would be like where we can both stab each other, and then green light again, in the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioner's mind, would be where you're in grapple range.
But the thing is that the problem we were having was, how do I get in there?
Yeah.
Without getting the shit stabbed out of me.
Yeah, that's because we don't. I feel like once we know some techniques, like we'll
know
be good.
A bit more.
You know what I mean? Like
well,
we'll have
we were
like
kind of practicing today was the hooking.
Yeah.
Which is a definite technique, and a very good one.
Yeah, just figuring out when to use it and all kinds of stuff.
Well, the ice pick hook works, but this here grip, is wonderful for keeping. See, watching that back and forth between Matt Easton and Lindy Page, you kind of realize they're both right.
Yeah, but none of them are wrong. It's just
context. Like if you want somebody to stay the fuck away from you, and you're not wearing armor, sword up all the way, because you can just be like.
You just wave it around like they just get all real pokey, and they'll
like
be
a man away stick.
Yeah, and they'll back right the fuck up.
But ice pick, when you're in close, is really, really.
It's certainly more useful in the grappling context.
Yeah,
like once you're.
But when you're talking in armor, you can use it almost like a hook.
Yeah, and also it's way easier to stab if you're in armor, to get at the neck. Or like all that kind of stuff, or like underneath the armpit, would be way easier with the hook.
Yeah, but you can hook all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
You can like hook behind his back to pull him in.
Yep.
For like a throw. You can hook behind his knees if you get the opportunity. Although I wouldn't go that low.
I want to try.
That would be a bad idea against somebody wearing gauntlets.
I want to try the play where like you grab both and then you go down. Like I'm wondering, I feel like that might work.
Oh, I feel like all the plays will work. I feel like there's not going to be any plays in that thing that won't work.
I don't know. Some of the stuff I was kind of like,
But it might be very context dependent.
That's true. I could just be misinterpreting when you use things.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, the single arm throw, like I know is context
Doesn't he also
sensitive.
demonstrate that? Isn't that one of the moves he demonstrates?
An ARS
Latatoria, yeah.
Yep, that's what it is. That's why I brought it up. There's the Shionage, or the single arm throw.
A million names for it. Turns out they did judo in medieval Italy.
I think they were doing judo, but
they just weren't calling it judo, obviously. Well, actually, you know what? I feel like judo would be a good thing to know for armored fighting.
Yeah, well, yeah, for sure. I mean, all the moves in judo came from ju-jitsu. And ju-jitsu is just what the samurai learned for armored combat. Like, all those throws all came from the idea of, like...
Everything came from judo.
Yeah.
Judo's or ju-jitsu is the ultimate martial art. The way of the samurai.
Yeah, well...
No, I'm pretty sure ju-jitsu...
Until Kung Fu gets his act together, pretty much. They stand so weird in Wing Chun.
I feel like if Kung Fu, had this thing where they rounded up all of the good schools from the good schools of thought,
Black Cat,
right?
Yeah.
And just had them wail on each other.
Yeah.
It would turn out.
You find out what are the good schools, and then you just cut off all the bad ones.
Kind of. You wouldn't just find out what are the good schools.
Yeah.
You'd find out what are the good aspects of each school.
Okay.
Like,
that's what they should do. They should do a UFC shitty martial art version.
Like, yeah. The only way you get in is you're in a shit tier martial art.
Yeah, you only get to compete if you're like not doing
like
ones that have already been proven effective. Because I want to find,
So you got 3 martial arts: American Kempo, Kung Fu, and Aikido.
Whoa.
I would so love to see how that fight would turn out.
Wow, that would be pretty good. Actually, that would be so funny.
I feel like
they have like Shotokan karate in there too.
Okay, Shotokan karate, yes.
That's pretty.
What's the difference between Shotokan and Kyokushin?
So Shotokan, they don't do a lot of sparring. They just do a lot of forms. Heavy emphasis on kata. I don't know that much about it because I don't look up Shotokan because I just really think Kyokushin's cool. So I don't really look up.
Kyokushin looks a lot like
boxing with no head punches and crazy kicks.
It kind of looks like boxing and kickboxing and a baby.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's like an emphasis on body shots.
It's why I believe the Metatron when he talks about the video where he got throat punched doing Kyokushin.
Yeah, I haven't seen that, but
he did like 4 years of Kyokushin.
Okay, that's cool.
As a teenager.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's why he's
not
completely unqualified.
And the thing that I'm always like skeptical of is when people say like they've been doing something for like 4 years or 5 years. Like, I know me. Like, I know the amount of martial arts I do in a week. So for me saying I do something for a certain amount of years means something different than if someone just does something for like once or twice a week.
There is a video where he does talk about the whole video where he basically like spills out his life story.
Yeah.
He does talk about how much he did it.
Okay.
And he said he was doing it 2 or 3 times a week, but he had a hard time with it because he had some kind of condition when he was a teenager.
Okay.
That was really, really painful.
That sucks.
Yeah. And then after that, he got out of it, and then he moved to Japan and did kendo for a few years.
Yep. This is a weird part of Moncton I've never been to.
There's another video too where. Oh no, that was the one I was watching the other night with the Apple truck.
Man, what a weird house play, like a location for a house.
Cheap land.
Yeah, I'd say.
Somebody would go score when they bought that land.
Yeah, like 2 cents a foot.
2 cents a foot. I'm good. But yeah, no, he actually did a video that shows like the video I watched last night. He actually has a clip of it from when he was like living in Japan, which I thought was really cool. He looks way fucking worse.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like, he never figured out his style until about 2 years into YouTube. That's why, like...
What do you mean never figured out his style?
Okay, go watch his old videos.
Okay.
And watch what he looks like.
Okay.
He's got kind of long hair and he's clean shaven.
Okay.
It's fucking weird.
Oh, like he just hasn't figured out like how he wants to look like.
Yeah.
Okay.
But now he's progressively becoming more and more of a human hairball.
Yeah. Kind of like me.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think of a lot when I see his videos. Except for you don't quite got the beard.
Yeah, I don't like that.
And you got the L'Oreal Paris hair.
Yeah, I love that though. I like my hair.
He doesn't have the L'Oreal Paris hair. He's got like the no-name shampoo metal hair.
Yeah, he does. My hair smells so good. Smell it for real, dude. Smell it.
I smelled it last week.
It still smells like that.
I hope people don't mind if I make jokes like that when I'm grappling.
Oh, they won't care. I think it's funny.
Like,
That's totally cool.
your hair smells nice.
Yeah, no, people do that all the time. You're good.
Like how we were conversing while
Yeah,
sparring today.
That's super normal. Except the sparring's a lot more intense. You don't end up doing a lot of talking. You're just kind of focused. But jokes do happen and stuff. And it's pretty relaxed.
Oh yeah, today wasn't really intense sparring because
I don't want to do intense sparring until I know what I'm doing because I don't want to build muscle memory for bad habits.
yeah, that's a good part way.
So that's why I'm kind of been like keeping it on the low key until like we get the gear in and we can crack open a treating manual. You know what I mean?
Well, on top of that, it has been invaluable though for me figuring out what parts of Kumdo work and what parts don't.
Oh yeah, for
Wait,
sure.
I haven't figured out a part that does work. Well, the big overhead swings.
Yeah, but like
I'm not a fan of big circular motions with swords.
yeah, well I always just thought that like you know in rapier versus like
Poke.
yeah, that's kind of the problem. Is it's an arc versus a straight line.
here's
Straight
what-
line's always gonna win.
Here's one of the things I've been thinking. They always say Gumdo. What really irks me is they always say Gumdo's for battlefield context, right?
Yep.
Well, if I'm in a battlefield context for samurai style armor, the last thing I want to do is fucking put my arms up like this.
Yeah.
And for two, that's one. Two, a lot of spears on a battlefield. Okay? If I am some like fucking like samurai dude and I lift up like
Samarang. Whoa.
this, and I'm like gonna like make my big fancy cut,
Yep.
okay, and I try to do it like that, some peasant's gonna stab me in the throat.
Yep.
Like, I'm gonna get throat stabbed.
And then he's gonna take your samarang mantle from you.
Like, it's much better to go into a high guard
Yep.
and swing down from there. Because you're not telegraphing your move nearly as much.
Yeah, and you're more protected because your arms
Aren't as high. It's like
Yeah.
this, right? So, if I flick forward, right, I can still generate really fast momentum with my muscles here and here for a good overhead strike. But I'm not, because my move is only coming from the arms,
Yeah.
I'm not telegraphing my move as much. It's the big swings, they feel more powerful, and they are, but how much fucking power do you need?
Yeah.
With a sword, not a lot.
I think you need just enough to cleave the man in two.
You don't
Or
even
kill
need
him.
You just need enough power to kill the guy, okay?
Yeah.
Which, unfortunately, what was the? I'll have to look up the video tonight. This is a video you'll find interesting.
Okay.
Matt Easton did one where they're going over the battle wounds from a grave that they found from one of the battles of the.
I've seen that. Did it have a spear all the way through the skull?
I think that was one of them.
Okay.
Like he was
'Cause Lenny Bates is
analyzing
a
with
video
the-
like that.
He did one on the medieval massacre from Sweden.
Okay.
This is a different battle. This is from a later period, actually. It's from a period where full plate armor was common in the War of the Roses.
Yep.
Well, not very many. A lot of the wounds were to the head.
Probably because that's like, you know, the only place you're gonna actually get someone if they're in full plate armor.
Well, the helmet's probably a little thinner. But a lot of them weren't just to the face. They were like all over the head. Not a lot to the chest, though.
Okay.
And
I thought they'd be all like around the eye sockets, honestly.
Nope.
That's where they'd all be.
All over the place.
Okay.
But you gotta remember the weapons they're using.
Yep.
They're not just using swords and spears.
They're using like halberds.
They're using shit like halberds and warhammers.
Yep.
I'm going after a guy in full plate. I'm going after him with the spike and the warhammer, and I'm swinging for the fucking head. Because I know that even if his helmet stops to blow, there's a good chance I'll kill him anyway. And there's a good chance that if that one blow doesn't kill him, I'll knock him so senseless that I'll be able to knock him to the ground and then stab him.
He'll get knocked out just from the blow. Yeah.
Knocked out or just knocked completely senseless.
I mean, they probably didn't know. I don't know. Would they have known?
Well, I have a feeling they knew that.
No, there's the muscles here. If you hit them, they'll knock someone out really hard, like on your neck, on the side of the neck. I wonder if.
Yeah, they knew.
Yeah, I was like, because I bet you I'd wonder if they took big swings at people's necks, if that's what they aimed, just so they could knock them out so they fall over, so they could stab the shit out of their face.
Well, it's not just that. Is that if you're aiming with a blunt weapon there, it's not just one muscle you can hit. You can knock someone out. There's something else there called the spinal cord.
Yeah.
You can break that, and you'll do a guy in just fine.
Yeah, it's also on the chin. You want to, if you can snap people's heads sideways. That's how Mike Tyson got everybody. Is just on the tip of the chin, just pop.
Yeah, I got struck there like once, like right here.
Right out.
You get hit by somebody that's shorter than you right here. Oh fuck! It opens you up like a can. An upward strike like that right there.
Yeah.
What it does is it jolts you back, and it jolts your head to the side, so you kind of lose your perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it opens you up to come right in. That'd be good no striking for you for somebody your height. Because if you're that'd be a good strike for you for somebody that's like your height.
Oh, I just do a jab, and it's kind of like a casting punch, or basically a very, very large hook, where I'm just coming in to get to the back of the head for the clinch.
That wouldn't work on somebody that knows how to create space, though.
No, it works great. I did it all the time in Muay Thai. It's like my combo. It's like the wombo combo that I did to come in for the clinch.
Yeah, but I feel like
it's not like a jab to like deal anything. It's a jab to make them put their hands up so you can close the distance.
Ah.
Yeah. No, it's not like a.
I still feel like if somebody knew the jig, that it would be a lot more difficult.
Oh yeah, because they know what's happening, so they just back up or something, or like teep. Honestly, they just go, "Oh, you're jabbing, I'm gonna teep."
What's teep mean?
Teep is kind of like a front kick, but it's not like a strike. It's like a push. Like you use it to create space. So like you'll just literally push them back.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier today.
Yeah,
because that would be great in sword fighting.
Kind of. I feel like it'd be a good way to get your foot sliced up too, though.
Not if you're in a bind.
Yeah. If you were all bound up.
If your swords are bound,
you couldn't really teep from there, but you could do like a flat, like a knee, and like all kinds of stuff.
Well, depends on where you're kind of bound at.
Yeah, like you could easily throw in some like knees to the side of the body, stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff that I need to think over with that kind of like grappling, because it's really interesting.
Well, if you come in on me, right?
Yeah.
And you get my sword offline.
Yep.
And you're on the inside of my guard, but you're not too close yet.
Yep.
Not close enough to bring your sword, and you're still bringing your sword online for the stab. Yep. Then you could do that.
Yeah. Well, you can do a teep as long as I'm blocking you, and you. Yeah.
If you're blocking, like if you've pushed my sword offline to get inside of my guard, you can teep. I can teep. I wouldn't teep in that situation.
Yeah, well, especially because since you've never done one before.
Slow. No, it's not that. Is that too slow?
Well, teeps are really quick.
You know what else is quick?
Imagine a jab, but with your foot.
Well, if you're good at teeps, you could probably do that then. I would leap back.
Yeah, it's there's many things you could do. It's not like a closed book.
Yeah, I'd leap back. That's how I'd handle it.
Yeah. And it'll be different for
leap back.
Like it depends on if you're tall or short or like.
And skill level.
Oh yeah, like I said, like
skill level, I'm leaping.
Yeah, like that's what I mean.
Because what I want to do is get my fucking sword back between me and you as quickly as I can.
Yeah, bring it back online.
Yeah, like just get it back in there as quick as I can, and I don't give a shit.
Man, you want to take a secret route that I know?
Okay.
All right, and then we can head back to my car.
Yeah, sure. I'm getting pretty tired. So.
Yeah, it's like it's 4 o'clock now.
Fuck.